Yama, Yamanda, Yamagaru, Wagan, Dagan, Bawa, Malaya. In my father's language, Kamilaroi language, this means hello, welcome, aunties, uncles, brothers, sisters and friends. I'd like to pay my respects to the traditional custodians of the land. Currently, I'm sitting on the Darug land. Wherever you are, whatever country you're sitting on, we must remember that under the concrete and the asphalt, this always was and always will be Aboriginal land. We remember the reasons why we're servicing the young people, and more importantly, that we acknowledge that they are the future of tomorrow.
In the last 3 years, Marist180 has experienced significant growth. From late 2018, where we had just under 200 staff, we now have more than 500 staff working across New South Wales, the ACT and Queensland, across 9 program areas and 19 different service delivery streams. We also went into new areas where we had not worked before. We expanded our footprint in Greater Sydney. We opened new services in Orange, Newcastle and Wollongong.
Unfortunately, there's services like ours that are needed. But if you flip that, the unfortunate becomes a fortunate for us, because the wonderful work that we do and we achieve means that these children are no longer homeless, they're no longer vulnerable, they're no longer in need of a place to call home, and more importantly, we give them a safe space to live and breathe and just relax, and more importantly, achieve the goals that they want to achieve.
What has always impressed me about the brilliant people that I work with is their commitment to the mission. I work with a team who are courageous, who are persistent, and are always there, leaving no one behind. In many ways, to me, that's the example of Mary. And in Marist180, we have 500 Marys doing it day in, day out.
One of the key things we try to achieve with our traineeships is not just training them and skilling them, but setting them up for a sustainable future in employment, so that they have the skills to support themselves, as well as a financial setup that they can manage anything that's thrown at them, and they're going to sustain their future. One of the best examples of what we do and the connection that we develop with our trainees is my current business supervisor, Zane. He actually started with me as a trainee 5 years ago.
I dropped out of school. I was going down a pretty rough path. I wasn't doing the right kind of things. I was doing stupid stuff all the time, and then I realised I needed to make more money for rent and living life, so I started looking for work. I stumbled upon the actual course itself, and then I enrolled straight away.
He worked through the program with me, and we supported him with his accommodation, his housing. I drove him to his job interview at 5 o'clock in the morning.
I finished my apprenticeship and I got the call from Megan, I guess, and obviously I'd made enough of an impact for her to call me up and say, I want you to come work for us. It was a big confidence boost hearing that she wants me to come back and work for her.
That's what we want to see, the full circle of needing some help just to get going, and then watching them have a future and being really happy in their life.
There's something about Megan, she's just a real goer and she's got good values. She doesn't shy away from any sort of challenge, like she's always trying to help people out, and she's just a real genuine person.
Often we're working with the more acute cases, we're working with really traumatised young people who don't have a lot of relationships or other attachment figures, so that's why we're often using a sort of model that's to build attachment and connection for those young people. To me, success for our young people is incremental change. Often these gradual things that seem really insignificant, unless you take a step back and actually see the bigger picture, you can actually see that all of these little things might not seem really significant in and of themselves, but they're all part of that greater achievement.
The majority of our clients come of very difficult circumstances. They have a refugees backgrounds or asylum seekers backgrounds, and they went through a very difficult time in their life. We provide them a second opportunity here in Australia, so they start their life here.
I came here in Australia when I was 16 years old, and Marist180 providing us with our needs, education, mental health, I would say, and support us with anything that we need. My sister Ilaha, when she turned 18, she started living with me. I'm really close with her. So I was feeling really happy, and this year, which is 2022, my brother Ali, he turned 18, he started living with us as well, and we are happy.
On some ways, I'm related to them because I'm a refugee as well. I came here as a refugee with my family. I was on the detention center for 3.5 years. So I completely understand our clients, how they feel when they come here to new country.
It was the carers and the coordinators, the caseworkers that helped me build my skills for the future. Like for example, how to do banking, like just simple skills that you need to learn. I was very much happy with Marist180. They were the one that brought me to the point where now I get the chance to study social work, pursue my dreams and become a social worker.
The goal for both Alaha and Zohal was to go to university and continue their studies. They worked really tirelessly academically and they've reached their goals. When they both exited our care at 18, they did it confidently. They were really embedded into community, they had the skills required and they went into university.
I love Marist180. They're doing a great job.
I appreciate it, everything they did.
The last couple of years for our society has been tough, but the one thing that people held on to was hope for the future, that things would change. At Marist180, we're doing the same. We are creating that hope for people in their lives for a positive and different future.